going to do actually, well, we can comment out our alert for now. We're going to grab our ABI. And so to do this, we can use fetch like we talked about in the last video. So we're going to call this, or we'll actually do a let, call this contract ABI. And so we need to await this because fetch is always, usually it's looking on the internet, even though this is looking locally, it's still an asynchronous function. We'll tell it to grab it from / is the current directory and then abi.json. So if you put this in like some subfolder, then you'd mention the subfolder name. Okay, and then we need to grab the, basically we need to still grab the JSON. So it's kind of annoying, but it's a two-step process. Whoops, yeah, actually contract ABI.json. And now this will work, and this is unhappy because we are not in an async function. So if we scroll up, we're actually in this nameless function. But if we add async here, then everything is happy now. Okay, so let's first just check to make sure that that worked. So we'll go ahead and just log our contract ABI. So let's go back over to Firefox, and we'll refresh and connect to wallet. Make sure that's good, and we'll submit this query, and we get an array, and so this is probably our contract ABI. Yep, so we have adder, diver, multer, subber. Great. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start working on basically encoding the function. Kind of like last time, we did this with just some magic number, but ethers lets us do this in a much nicer way. So we're going to start by saying we want a new interface. So we'll call this const iface. And let's see if I can remember this. So it's ethers.utils.interface. And we need to pass it our ABI for it to work with. And then with this interface, we want to encode our function data. So we'll call it encoded data, maybe. And this will use the interface's encode function data method. And for this, we need to mention what we're looking for. So this is that function name that we defined before. And then we need to pass it the parameters. So we'll pass our num1 and num2. And then there are a couple more things. So we have this encoded data. Let's go ahead and just start up our try catch. So if there's any sort of error, then we want to know what that is. So we'll actually log the error. And then we'll send an alert saying something went wrong with your transaction. Maybe alert the developer. And then we'll return. Okay, and then inside of this try, we're going to actually work on like sending this transaction.